All right, welcome back, everybody. 3:30 on this Wednesday. Washington zeroed in on problems at the credit rating agencies today. Eric Kolchinsky, a former Moody's analyst and managing director, testified before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. He claims that conflicts of interest and a lack of independence hampered Moody's ability to accurately rate debt. And he says the worries are far from over.
While I do not believe that the rating agencies were the main cause of the credit crisis, there are other parties who are far more responsible. There are still unresolved problems which will lead to poor ratings performance.
All right, here to talk more about Moody's is another former Moody's employee, Sylvain Raynes. He was senior analyst and vice president at Moody's from 1995 to 1997, is now principal of R&R Consulting, a structured security valuation firm valuing such things as mortgage-based security. Sylvain, great to have you here. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Carol. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, Eric says the worries are far from over at a company like Moody's. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I think that today was Moody's Day of Atonement. This is a time that comes in the life of every man and corporation where they have to face the abyss. And the question is always binary, whether they will recoil from the abyss and find their true self, or else fall into it and never rise again.
Let me ask you, you were at Moody's for a couple of years. I mean, what signs did you see that kind of support what we're hearing from Eric Kolchinsky, that in terms of the kind of ratings that Moody's was placing on things inaccurately so, according to allegations?
I have, as far as I'm concerned, in my time at Moody's, only good news to report. Yes, there are bad people in every pot, but the situation deteriorated tremendously after Moody's was a subject of a Department of Justice investigation, and especially after they went public. That's when the pressure, because as you know, Moody's became a corporation with a stock price, and Warren Buffett knows this more than anyone else. And it had a stock price that could move up and down. The more money they make, the more the stock price moves up. So the pressure was the same as on every other firm, which is not allowable.
All right, but you've been out of the firm for some time. Somebody at home might be saying, well, he hasn't been there for some time. I mean, how do you know that they were putting the wrong valuations on things?
Yes, of course.
Especially the subprime area.
You are correct. I was not working directly on deals. I was working on deals with Moody's outside of Moody's at R&R Consulting. I was in touch with not only, the former analysts, but also current analysts. I could see the methods they were using, the deterioration in the standards, the kind of analysts that were hired which had no knowledge at all of statistics. Believe it or not, Carol, there is not a single statistician at Moody's.
So in other words, their valuation methods weren't correctly catching things, whether it's deterioration in asset quality or backing or so on and so forth.
The models they were using specifically for mortgage-backed securities were not sensitive to objective factors in the field, such as the fact that loans had no documentation, they had stated income, how many loans were refinancings.
Which, of course, we know was going on.
We were no longer in the conforming Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac universe, which put a sort of a damper on all nonsense that we saw in the 2000s.
What about for people who were very, very big customers of Moody's? Were there exceptions made from what you saw, from what you heard?
Oh, definitely from what I heard. I didn't see directly, although in my days, the Green Tree, for instance, had a special deal. That's what I saw directly. They were getting a better deal than everybody else. And after I left, I am totally convinced from information that came to my attention through former students and analysts that companies like Countrywide were getting a better deal.
Okay. We're going to have to leave it there. Sylvain, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Sylvain Raynes, principal at R&R Consulting. Matt, over to you.